All right, happy Monday and welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. Hope all of your weeks are off to a great start. Coming up on today's show, San Francisco adding to their roster, officially signing 3 players. We're going to go player for player and break down each of these new additions to this roster. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Can we get to 81,000 subscribers with this show? If you're coming across the 49ers Report for the first time, we're the largest independently run Niners channel that puts out videos every single day. We're 47 subscribers away from 81,000. Let's do it for Terrell Owens. And the bosses are telling me that if we don't get to that number with this show, we might have to just delete the channel. I don't want that to happen because I put a lot of hard work into this. Subscribe, lock us in. It's the San Francisco 49ers Report. Today's show is presented by Manscaped, and it's hard to believe that we're well into the month of May. Summer is coming up right around the corner, but Manscaped has a great deal that we want to tell you about. Everybody watching right now, listen up. Summer's coming, and are you ready to unveil your beach bod? Manscaped is here to ensure that your body is ready for the wild with their game-changing full-body grooming and hygiene products. Don't be the guy at the beach or at the pool with Austin Powers chest hair, right? And if you grew some winter man tits, the least thing you can do is make sure that they are hairless. And you can get that done with the Performance Package. Really a good deal for all of the faithful. 20% off and free shipping by using the promo code 49ers at manscaped.com/49ers. Has a couple of products. Has the nose hair trimmer, the lawnmower 4.0, the boxer briefs. I was wearing them yesterday during my NBA playoffs watch party. The most comfortable set of boxer briefs that I've ever worn. And shower products, too, to have you smelling nice as well. One more time, it's manscaped.com/49ers. 20% off, free shipping using the promo code 49ers. We appreciate them, as always, for making today's show possible. So San Francisco making these signings official today on Monday. We briefly talked about Brandon Allen last week, who's best known for playing his college football at Arkansas. His brother also played college football at Arkansas, had a short stint in the pros, and now for Allen, he's had a pro stint as well. Best known for his NFL career for being the longtime backup to Joe Burrow and really helping him and to groom him in some of his younger years. Allen's 30 years old, 6th-round pick out of Arkansas in 2016. Some stints with the Jags, the Los Angeles Rams, Denver Broncos, and then from 2020 to 2022, most recently with the Cincinnati Bengals. And when Burrow got hurt a couple of years ago, tearing his ACL, Allen actually played a good bit. And in his NFL career, he's played a good bit. 56% completion percentage. He's thrown for more than 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. He's taken 21 sacks during that span. 10 drop passes from his wide receivers. Not always ideal, right? 4 batted passes at the line of scrimmage. 15 throwaways there. So that, of course, lowers the 56% completion percentage. Average time to throw, 2.53. 8 big-time throws and 11 runs for Allen. He's really just going to be a training camp body. I think the 49ers very content with their quarterback room heading into 2023. Obviously, it's all dependent on how Brock Purdy continues to recover from that elbow injury, but John Lynch saying last week, as we talked about, that he's at the facility and he's scheduled to throw around that 12-week mark, which would be right on schedule. Trey Lance, because Brock Purdy's going to be sidelined, going to have every opportunity to really steal that QB1 job potentially for at least the early portion of the season if Purdy cannot return for the resumption of 49ers regular season football. And then Sam Darnold as QB3. Much better insurance than having a guy like Josh Johnson have to come in the NFC Championship game. And speaking of the QBs here, Ian Rappaport filling in for Pat McAfee, who just had a kid with his wife. Congratulations to the McAfees. He said that the 49ers reached out to Ian Rappaport and pushed back on his Sam Darnold praise and anti-Trey Lance takes. Very interesting and very rare for an organization to reach out to an NFL insider who works for the NFL Network. The NFL owns the NFL Network, and they basically said, look, we actually do believe in Trey Lance. For you to throw this narrative out there, can you walk back some of your comments on that front? Pretty interesting. We'll see what happens, obviously, but I believe that this is Trey Lance's job to lose, and Brock Purdy's. Sam Darnold just going to be a backup quarterback. I am excited, though, to see what Kyle Shanahan's going to be able to do with him. I mean, we're talking about Shanahan, offensive mastermind, offensive guru. I know a lot of people don't like him out there, but the numbers speak otherwise. I mean, the guy's made it to back-to-back NFC championship games, 3 NFC title games over the last 4 years, a Super Bowl appearance back in 2019. His offense down the stretch last year after the Christian McCaffrey trade and with Brock Purdy as the team starting quarterback, averaged more than 30 points per game. And I want to see what he can do with Sam Darnold because Darnold has the ability, the arm strength, the athleticism. And if Shanahan can maximize a C.J. Beathard, who's an average athlete and thrower of the football, as well as Nick Mullins, and he did what he did with Brock Purdy, I just want to see, at least in the preseason, what Shanahan can do with Sam Darnold. So with that, our poll question for today's show is this: who will be the 49ers Week 1 starter at that quarterback position? Sound off with what you think down below in the comments section. Another addition to this roster is a guy who I'm kind of intrigued by. It's defensive lineman Marlon Davidson. Now, why am I intrigued about Marlon Davidson? Could this be another Chris Kocurek project here? More on him. 47th overall pick by the Atlanta Falcons out of Auburn, just back in 2020. So this guy's played only a couple of years in the NFL, and for Davidson, he has some pedigree. And Chris Kocurek is the best defensive line coach in the NFL. But for him to be let go so quickly by Atlanta, obviously they were done with him. He didn't fulfill the expectations of being selected 47th overall out of Auburn. He's only played 19 games. He's tallied 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit. The highlight of his career, a pick 6 in the ATL off of one Tom Brady. And this guy does have some dog in him. This is what he said a couple of years ago at the NFL Scouting Combine. Asked why he likes playing the game of football, quote, "I can literally go out there and hit a man consistently and pound him," pause, "and the police won't come." Marlon Davidson bringing that dog to the bay. And Chris Kocurek, we've seen him maximize so many defensive linemen throughout his coaching tenure, from Arden Key to Charles Omenihu. He's now worked with Nick Bosa. He's done such a great job of developing these defensive linemen who have gone from busts to being marquee rotational pieces. Can he do it with Marlon? That's what I'm keeping my eye out for. And for the 49ers, look, it's probably not going to come from Davidson, right, if we're being realistic about it, but they need to have an uptick in their sack production in 2023 from 2022. Because after Nick Bosa, a massive drop-off. And Samson Ebukam, no longer in the Bay. Charles Omenihu, he gone with the Kansas City Chiefs. Drake Jackson, going to need to take a massive step forward. Jordan Willis, of course, it's to the Niners' benefit to add a Javon Hargrave, who had 11 sacks last year at nose tackle, defensive tackle, but the point here being San Francisco needs to generate a more consistent and lethal pass rush. Where does this Niners defensive line rank in the NFL? They're up there. I saw a tweet earlier. It was, which team has the best defensive line between the Eagles, the Niners, and the Jets? A lot of people went Eagles, Jets 1-2 just because of the depth there that San Francisco does lack. Interesting conversation nonetheless. As for the third player that the Niners are adding here, Troy Fumagalli, the tight end. He went to Wisconsin. That's where he played his college ball. And for a lot of you, you're probably like, man, the face looks familiar. The name sounds familiar. He was actually signed by the Niners in May of 2022, so last offseason. He was then waived on August 30th. He was signed to the practice squad after he got waived in September, and then he was released in November. So hasn't appeared much for the 49ers, of course. A 2018 fifth-round pick out of Wisconsin. The only time that he's played actual games at the NFL level in the regular season has come with the Denver Broncos. They wanted to give him a shot, obviously, after they drafted him in the 5th round, and he's played in 19 games total. He's had 24 balls thrown his way. He's caught 14 of them for a total of 118 yards and 2 touchdowns, with San Francisco using 2 draft choices on tight ends. Cameron Latou out of Alabama and then Braden Willis out of Oklahoma. This right here going to be a training camp body because you already have George Kittle, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelley on this team too. Will any of these players 3 of them that we're talking about on today's show are keeping you informed on these Niners roster moves. Actually make the Niners roster. Y for yes, N for no. Before we hop on out of here, give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, @Chase_Senior. Appreciate all of you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch you next time here on the show.